That's what I did when I record. I just start that way. Gotta wait and make sure the sound. Okay, it's working. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglash for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing, which we don't hear much from anymore, but that's okay. Let's get over to the news. Okay, let's start with Tom Fishburne. Always my favorite. My meme. That's the old word for that. Something that inspires me. Okay, our brand is trying to appeal to a younger audience. So here's a maternity ward. Tom, I don't think they do maternity wards anymore. You can't even come in and look at them anymore. They just bring them out to you, and you get to talk to them or something. So anyway, um, Tom always like his comments. I like his comments as much as his cartoon. So a couple of years ago, Alex Morel wrote a fascinating piece called Ageism in Advertising, right? And he pointed out that only 5%, and you can't read this anyway, but I'll try and make it bigger. That only 5% of advertising spend is targeted to adults aged 35 to 64. Okay, despite the fact that they hold 80% of the wealth, make up 60% of the car sales, 58% of the travel spend, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. He concluded that the over 50s are one of the largest and wealthiest and most underserved markets. And that the over 50 are so dramatically underrepresented in our advertising, it appears to be commercially reckless. Okay, marketers, it would seem, would rather pander fruitlessly to young people than make money selling things to old people. The idea of people over 50 driving their cars, drinking their coffee, eating their hamburgers, and wearing their sneakers is so appalling and such an embarrassment that they willfully ignore and disparage the most valuable economic group in the history of the world. That's me. I feel so special, Tom. You bet it is. I'm on I bought like 7 Lexuses now, and it kind of bothers me that the Lexus commercials are all 20 somethings, or even their RX line is maybe up to 30s, and, I hate to say it's just amazing because that's not who I see driving them. I mean, even I was looking at, what was it? It was a Porsche or it was a Ferrari or something. Drove past me the other day and I thought, ooh, who's driving that? And it was an old guy. I don't know how he got into the thing. I don't think I could get into it. But anyway, so now, meanwhile, the hype machine is already talking about Generation Alpha, kids under 10. The tech-savvy young children of millennials whose rising influence could soon make Generation Z an afterthought, as one Ad Age article breathlessly put it. What advertising does and has done effectively for centuries, okay, says Cindy Gallup, is basically create aspirational culture. Fundamentally, advertising's job is to make people buy things. There is this very mistaken thinking at the moment that everyone aspires to be young. For older people, that is not the case at all. We're comfortable. We should tap into that, to the aspiration of age, wisdom, gray hair. When you're this age, you don't give a shit. I didn't say it. I may represent it, but I didn't say it. That was Cindy. We have the confidence that comes with age to say those things. We know by now what really matters in life. We feel free to express our individuality however we want. We have better relationships because we know what really matters. We're experienced and we start businesses. I'm starting like 3 of them so far this year. If only advertising talked to us in a way that made us feel we were the primary target, we would spend that money big time. Lead what's inspirational about being older, and the young will follow. There's an idea. You bet. Okay, and so social media says, let's see if I can get this to work. Control. How do I control shift? Oh, plus, control minus. There we go. I may be a YouTube star, but are you sure I'm a good fit to promote your mortgage business? I'm only 12. Just do something millennial. I like that one. That one's good. When's that one from? December 2014. I always like these two. If older consumers have more buying power, why do marketers seem to ignore anyone over the age of 35? They're texting each other in the room. Did you hear something? Nothing important. Here, what do we know about Generation Z so we can get them to buy stuff? So far, all we know is they hate brands that get them to buy stuff. That was pretty good. Oops. What happened with that one? For some reason, it's doing things I don't expect, which is not unusual. I'm the old guy, remember? Let's see this one. We learn to speak your language so your generation will start to pay attention to our ads. Don't. That's a naughty sign. Somebody using emojis. We need to age down our financial service brand to appeal to a younger generation. Why are you looking at me like I'm crazy? That's so great. Tom, thank you for that. I always enjoy your stuff. And so much truth in it. And, you know, it's getting to the point where the advertising is a poke in my face. It's a punch in the nose. It's saying, we don't want anybody in our ads. Europe is different. That's why I air a lot of European ads. But in America, man, it's like we don't want anybody anywhere near associated with our product that's your age or your look. Boy. And you know what? I'm going out of my way to avoid those brands. Thank you very much. We have votes. It's called money. And now let's go on. Now this comes into this is a great new product you will not hear about probably anywhere else. One of the problems with pasta is that it takes up lots of space. You can't make the portion size. You know, not spaghetti, which is straight. I like angel hair. But like Rotini, it's all air. You're shipping air. Rotini is not featured in this article, which is my favorite because this pasta sauce sticks to it, gets in those spirals, and you get a better ratio of sauce to pasta with Rotini. If you don't know about Rotini, look it up. It's a spirally thing. Okay, bow tie pasta has nice little cavities that hold on to the pasta sauce. My wife calls it gravy. I don't know why, but that's something that the Italians do in Chicago. Okay, so here's this new kind of pasta. A perfectly packed box of macaroni is still 67% air by volume. With so many varied pasta shapes and sizes, the entire industry deals with wasteful packaging. Inspired by flat-packed design from the furniture industry, it's called Knockdown KD, IKEA especially. There it goes, popularized by IKEA. The CMU, Carnegie Mellon, scientists hope to bring a more sustainable form of packaging, storage, and transportation to pasta. Now, I got to show you this. Here it comes. Look at that. In the article itself, it has a GIF. I'd say GIF is a peanut butter. It has a GIF that shows you how it curls up. So what happens is it's flat, and then when you put it in the boiling water, it curls up. Do I know how they do it? No. It reminds me of Shrinky Dinks. But my wife, I showed her. I said, you got to see this. You got to see this. This is revolutionary. Although they didn't have Rotini, they didn't have bow ties, so I don't know if they offer everything. She said, ooh, that's gross. So I'm not saying it's going to work. I mean, it works. I'm not saying it's going to be popular, but I am saying that it is, it's fun. So let's get over here. One more. We'll do one more today. Where am I at? Oh, I'm almost out of time. Yeah. Well, I'll give you this one because I can go fast on this one. Direct mail definition, Entrepreneur Small Business Encyclopedia. It's from entrepreneur.com and by Jay Samuel. Okay. It says a marketing effort that uses a mail service to deliver promotional printed piece to your target audience. I think that's fairly good. Not everybody realizes that direct mail doesn't necessarily generate a response. It can be totally brand advertising, be totally image based. The next level, I would say, in customer engagement, which is mentioned in here, is the ability to add engagement with the piece and ultimately generate a response, a lead, a click, a QR click, or a purchase directly. For a century, we had people mail back checks, right, in the mail. So it's not impossible. And Miles Kimball, not too long ago, I think it was in the early 2000s. I was the president had come from the IT, and she said that they were still getting 25% of their orders with an order form with a mail-in check. Okay, think about that. So it still happens. That's a big hunk of business, right? So anyway, and even with all of that response, I would still say that isn't direct marketing unless you've set up the testing matrix so that you're testing lists, you're testing offers, you're isolating causal variables with your hypotheses about what matters most in your marketing. And when you get to that level, then I would say you're doing direct marketing, which is another level. And so if you're thinking of getting into direct mail, it's a good start, but you can go all the way to direct marketing with a little more effort if you get someone who knows what they're doing involved. Okay? The big thing about direct mail is it allows you to control who receives your message. In other words, Andrew Ettinger, the video got banned on LinkedIn, but you can see it in my archives. You can still see Andrew Ettinger's rant against Facebook. It was just last week. I think it was Monday or Tuesday or something. Anyway, and you just look for that in. You can go to YouTube and look up Miglosh Marketing, and the whole archive is there. You can also look on LinkedIn and find my post that has Andrew highlighted, and so that'll get you his rant. And as far as I know, they haven't taken my video of his video down, which I think is hilarious. I'm gonna have to tell Andrew. But anyway, he points out that Facebook has been caught, and it's in public records, in court records, been caught promoting greater reach than the size of the geography population and things like that. I remember for the WDMA trying some Facebook advertising just to see what happens. It's cheap. And when I looked at Wisconsin plus Minneapolis Metro plus Chicago Metro, or at least the north side of Chicago, the north half, let's say, it said that there were 2 million marketing people in that geography. Really hard for me to believe because, the Milwaukee Metro itself is only about 1 million people, total people, babies and elderly and everybody put together. The state of Wisconsin total population is maybe 6 million. Now, I know we added a bunch with Minneapolis and Chicago, but okay. Maybe that means that they've posted on Facebook. Maybe that counts as marketing. But you see, that's the trouble, is that you have to test Facebook. You have to trust Facebook that they're going to give people that are relevant to you your message. And even if they like your page, you might have 100,000 likes on Facebook. We're getting content creators saying this over and over and over. Even when they talk about a particular topic, a very small percentage of the people who've liked their page see the content. Why? Because Facebook oversells everything, and so they don't have enough seats on the airplane. I just think that's funny. And I learned that from Andrew Ettinger. Anyway, so unlike that, direct mail goes to who you send it. You can even put you can even put informed visibility on it and get the tracking and see, when they come, and you can even email people as they're getting it. After it gets scanned by informed delivery, you can ride along on that with an email in many cases. It's not 100%. Um, not to your entire list. You can with the people that have informed delivery, I believe. But anyway, some of that stuff is so, the Postal Service is so far ahead of us, we don't even know all their capabilities, which is what I'm learning daily. Anyway, but this is really the good part. To create an effective direct mail campaign, start by getting your name on as many mailing lists as possible. And the best way is to buy from them. And I highly even encourage you to buy through a couple of their purchase options, like buy through the website, buy through your phone, try to anyway, and call up their their call center if they have one, and talk to the people and ask them if they get a lot of calls, ask them if they get a lot of questions, ask them if they've actually seen the product that you're asking about. That's one of the funniest ones. I remember calling up about a glove in a safety company and asking the telecenter lady, is this a good product? Have you seen this? Oh, no, I'm in Kansas City. The warehouses are in Wichita or something. That's what she said. I called the president. I said, you might need my help. We got a lot of work from him. Anyway, so obtain free information every chance you get, especially from companies that offer your products and services or stuff that's similar to yours. Makes sense. Take note of the reaction to each piece of mail. Save the ones that communicate most effectively, whether they come from large or small companies. Okay? Take note of keywords. Take note of colors. Law firms, IT, usually a lot of blue and gray. Bright colors, gift businesses or party planners or that sort of thing. Stickers can lift involvement. But where this article stops, and it shouldn't stop, but it doesn't say test. What this is observations of other mailers. And these days, you can't assume that your competitors have tested anything. They try this, they try that. If all they're doing is listening to their ad agency, who's continually changing the format because they make more money, you don't know what's going on. Now, somebody like Publishers Clearinghouse, which they mention, does test and does know that the stickers increase involvement for their offer. Won't necessarily work for you. If you're selling financial planning to high income, high net worth, it's not the same, not even close, not when you get to the gray market. A lot of retired baby boomers have very low income, right? Their credit card balances are zero, right? But their net worth is millions. That's not uncommon. They're not the same. This is the kind of thing that you need to think about when you're selecting your list. But the point is that testing, we want to take it all the way to direct marketing, not just mail. Okay? And then, of course, this guy recommends stuff. I have never read The Secrets for Small Business by Do-It-Yourself Direct Marketing. I like the name, Direct Marketing. Could be good. I never heard of Mark S. Bacon, never heard him speak, but maybe it's any good. I would recommend, if you want a textbook, Bob Stone's book. If you want a primer on direct mail, I would say Claude Hopkins, Scientific Advertising at scientificadvertising.com for free. I don't make anything on that. DM News, Direct Marketing Magazine, and DMA, as far as I could tell, and I did look them up just because of this article, are all gone. And that's why you want to subscribe to the WDMA. We have more content than those guys ever did. WDMA, join to support us. We're actually going to get some new speakers and stuff. We're going to get some more content. But the WDMA, the DM News, the last post was January 2020. Direct Marketing Magazine got sold off years and years ago, I think. Target Marketing got sold off to Adweek. Direct Marketing Association, the last post I could see on thedma.com, I think it is. Anyway, I went to their site, and it was, it was it. Was from 2018 when they sold out to ANA. Okay, so you're out of luck with those guys. If you want to learn about direct mail and direct marketing, we got some great stuff in the members only section of the WDMA.org, and I encourage you to join and subscribe. That's enough for today. Have a great day. Don't forget the senior market, right? We got some good stuff for tomorrow. We're going to talk about how the industry is turning toward mail. Bye-bye. Like and share. Your friends will know your